It is being filled by the present company that is operating now.
You are refilling it now?
Yes.
Where is the example of it?
You can go to that side.
Supplementary mining framework to a much more rationally ordered, organized mining.
Yes, aggregated.
On stream.
Yes, this is what
Minerals occur in all the states of Nigeria, in all the local governments.
Yeah. That's a very powerful analogy.
Yes, that we had a big job in our hands.
We must increase the level of beneficiation and processing locally.
Welcome to this episode of Mining in Nigeria. In the last couple of weeks, we've been laying a foundation of solid minerals development in the country, dwelling on the history as well as the new strides being taken since the coming on board of the Buhari administration, with a determination to use mining as a tool for economic diversification. I can tell you that the potentials in this sector are huge, as solid minerals holds the key to getting our nation out of the woods. The series continues as we focus on the evolving phase of the solid minerals sector, highlighting the issues, the potentials and the successes being recorded by the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in putting Nigeria on the map of mining countries of the world and making her a mining destination. Let's take a break, and when we return, we will take a look at some of the happenings at the ministry in our diary of events. Stay with us.
Do you know, in 2017, Nigeria lost $9 billion in wealth? Do you know the source of this monumental loss is illegal mining? Illegal mining is synonymous with oil bunkering and vandalism. Illegal mining is a crime against the Nigerian nation. Stop illegal mining now. Get a license. Be legitimate. Do it right.
Once again, this is Mining in Nigeria. Let's quickly take the highlights of some of the events in the diary of the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development.
From what we met when
Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, accompanied by his Minister of State, Abubakar Bawa Buhari, Permanent Secretary, Dr. Abdulkadir Muazu, and various departmental and unit heads, appeared before the joint budget defense of the Senate and House Committees on Power, Steel Development and Metallurgy on the 29th January 2018 in defense of the Ministry's 2018 budget estimates. The joint committee was chaired by Senator Enyinaya Abaribe.
Happiness and prosperity of Nigeria.
Speaking on the 2018 proposed estimates for the ministry, which stands at 23.4 billion naira, Fayemi reiterated the need to generate qualitative geological data, which forms a major objective of the ministry in 2018.
we are interested, and it's a priority issue, to generate qualitative geological data, because what we have now in this electromagnetic survey that we have retrieved gives us information that is definitive, but you still need to do what in geology they call ground truthing. In the areas that you find to be mineral rich, you then need to do drilling and do additional work, and that is what we believe we would focus on.
The committee had noted some differences in the breakdown between what was before them and what the ministry presented before it. But the differences were resolved, and the minister and his team are to reappear before the committee on 13th February 2018 for further deliberations.
The effort of the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development to ease access to information on mining has reached its peak as the ministry launched the Integrated Automation and Interactive Solid Minerals Portal. The Minister of Mines and Steel Development unveiled the portal. The minister's remarks at the event captured the importance of the portal to the mining sector.
This system is deployed to achieve includes a geospatial database, improvements in our performance of business processes, for example, online mining licenses and mineral titles application, online payments for royalties and fees, and database for revenue drive.
Stakeholders at the portal launch expressed delight over the ministry's stride to open Nigerian mining sector to the world, saying the process will ease doing business in the sector.
With all these things, number one is to make processing of your loan faster, because every information the bank will say, go and bring this paper, and they want to vet. Now they can vet everything from the system themselves. So they have the information even before so why will we not be happy? So for once, transparency and accountability is working. And then I want to tell Nigerians that this is the change Buhari promised Nigeria.
One major goal that the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development has set for itself is the formalization of artisanal and small-scale miners. This is towards structuring their growth and development, thereby increasing their productivity and potentials for job creation. A major step towards this was the launching of a 5 billion naira Nigerian Artisanal and Small-Scale Miners Financing Support Fund to grant loans at single-digit interest rates. This was in August 2017. The fund, which is to be operated by the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in collaboration with the Bank of Industry, is available only to artisanal and small-scale miners to address the funding challenge militating against ASMs. Both the Minister of Mines and Steel Development and the MD-CEO of BOI stressed the purposes for which the fund can be used.
The fund shall be available in the form of term loans or working capital to be utilized for the following purposes: purchase of requisite items of plant and machinery, payment for drilling, geological and other services related to mining business as may be required, and working capital for purchase of materials and other expenses.
The ministry insisted that the interest rate must not exceed 5%. I don't know where else you can borrow money at 5%. People should understand that this money is not a grant. It is not your part of national cake. The idea is that once you take the loan and you pay it, others will be able to benefit from it.
Speaking after the ceremony, President of the Miners Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Sheikh Hussaini, expressed the hope that the good initiative of the ministry will not be undermined by bureaucratic bottlenecks.
While we appreciate whatever checks that the bank may employ to see that the money is not taken as a national cake, we also appeal to the Bank of Industry to be flexible such that as many artisanal and small-scale miners as possible will assess the intervention.
The Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has described the ministry's former permanent secretary, Mohammed Abbas, as a dedicated civil servant whose contributions brought positive changes in implementing government policies. The minister stated this at a dinner party organized by the ministry to honor the permanent secretary who retired on the 7th of December 2017.
Once you left him with an assignment, you can go to sleep because he will deliver on that task.
Also speaking at the event, the Minister of State, Bawa Buhari, expressed the ministry's appreciation to the retired permanent secretary for a job well done.
We thank you for your passion. We thank you for your brotherhood. We thank you for your partnership with us. We thank you for all the good things you did. May Allah give you the best of this world and most excellent things in the hereafter.
Gifts were presented to the former Permanent Secretary as a mark of appreciation.
You are golden.
While answering questions from journalists, the celebrant disclosed that the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development is boosting the Nigerian economy because of adequate support from the present government.
Let's give thanks to the present administration for rediscovering the solid mineral sector and giving it the necessary financial, political and legal support to contribute its quota to the national economy.
You are watching Mining in Nigeria. The dividing line between being illegal and an illegal miner is the possession of a mining license or lease. What are these documents? What do they empower the holder to do? And how does one go about getting a license or a lease? These questions will be answered in our next segment on the issues.
That information on your fingertips.
One major issue that has bedeviled the mining sector in Nigeria for many years is illegal mining. Simply defined, illegal mining is carrying out any mining operation without a license. The Mining Cadastre Office was established in line with the Mining Act of 2007 to, among other things, consider applications for mineral titles and permits, as well as issue, suspend and upon written approval of the minister revoke any mineral title, receive and dispose of applications for the transfer, renewal, modification, relinquishment of mineral titles or extension of areas. Before now, obtaining a license was a Herculean task, but this is no longer so.
In the past, even to get a license, it used to take upward of 2 to 3 years to get a single license to mine. We thank God, after the establishment of the Nigerian Mining Cadastre Office, you can get a license within 45 days. So I think the problems that have been developing in this industry, I think is gradually coming to an end.
There are 6 types of licenses and leases issued by the Mining Cadastre Office. They include the reconnaissance permit, the exploration license, the mining lease, the small-scale mining lease, the quarry lease, and the water use permit. What then differentiates a license from a lease?
Actual extraction of minerals is only done under a lease. That is either a mining lease, small-scale mining lease, or a quarry lease. While licenses like exploration license, reconnaissance are simply for search.
Of all the licenses issued by the MCO, the mining lease is the ultimate. This lease, which is usually for a period of about 25 years, allows the holder to extract minerals for commercial purposes and pay royalties to government. Any extraction of minerals without this lease is illegal. But what happens if in the course of prospecting, one comes across minerals in commercial quantity?
In the course of exploration, if you recover a mineral of economic value, the law requires you to go and report this to the mines inspector. We have Director of Mines Inspectorate in the ministry. You are required to go and report that, yes, in the course of my prospecting, I have recovered some minerals which are of commercial value. The Director of Mines will now grant you permission to go and dispose these minerals and pay adequate royalty over them. So if you recover minerals while prospecting and you do not declare it, it is illegal.
People who do not have adequate finances for full-blown mining activities can apply for small-scale mining lease or a quarry lease. They are usually for a period of 5 years. Eligibility to acquire a license or lease is similar to those obtainable in other mining jurisdictions. The processes are simple.
If you are looking for an exploration license, for example, you have to go to the field and survey the area and take the coordinates of the area, because the area you want to apply for is defined by geographical coordinates. Once you bring the coordinates to us, downstairs we have what we call a front desk. You can now give the front desk officer the coordinates you have generated from the field. The officer will input those coordinates into his system. We have a very large screen. While he's inputting this data, you'll be seeing it on the screen. Within 2 minutes, the officer will tell you either the area is free or the area is already covered. Once the area is free, then you can now go and apply. Submit your application. You have to, your application must be accompanied by your financial status, that yes, you have the finances to do that, evidence through bank or whatever. 2, you have got a consent from the landowner that yes, I've spoken to the landowner and the landowner has agreed. You have to come with an evidence. 3, of course, you have defined the area using geographical coordinates. 4, you demonstrate to us that yes, your company has been paying taxes to government. Then you file your application. Once you file your application, within 45 days, you will be granted your license.
A mining lease is not a title for the fun of it. That was why when the new administration came on board, it enforced the use it or lose it policy of the Mining Act. Eligibility for renewal is based on how you abide by the rules.
If we grant you a mining lease, you will not get any renewal unless, of course, you demonstrate or you show us that yes, you have been mining continuously, you have been rendering returns on what you're mining, you are paying royalties on the minerals you are winning, and most importantly, you are paying your annual service fees. For any license we issue you, for as long as the license is exclusive in the sense that you have an area defined, granted to you, you must pay royalties or annual service fees based on the area you have.
Moving with the times and in line with global practices, the current leadership in the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development has put machinery in motion to see to it that the application for any type of license can be done automatically without having to physically go to the mining cadastre office.
It is good to know that obtaining a license for mining operations is no longer a cumbersome task. We say well done to the Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development. But do you know that before the 60s, no African was allowed to own or run a mining site? They were permitted to only work at the mines. This has, however, changed, and mining is open to all who are interested in tapping into its rich array of potentials. This has given rise to various associations and bodies who have become stakeholders in a solid minerals development. In our next segment, we will be looking at the Miners Association of Nigeria as a key stakeholder in the development of the solid minerals sector in Nigeria.
Our core mandate is to develop their capacity.
So I think we are ready to work with the ministry.
Transparency and accountability is being brought into mining.
One of the ways we can increase the non-oil exports revenues.
It's largely to promote and to protect the interests of their members. At that time, we have Association of Nigerian Mine Owners. Though without a name, people now begin to come together and identify their interests and so on. The association's mandate includes encouraging them to run their businesses smoothly and make money, encouraging them to operate within the ambit of the law, because money is a regulated business. We also encourage them to mine responsibly. Part of our mandate and objective is to create a bigger platform that will advocate for friendly policies to guide the mining industry in the country.
It's an industry association and it is voluntary. So majorly what we do is just to liaise between those miners who have voluntarily joined the association. So we liaise with them, between them and the government, and sometimes there are conflicts between them and their landowners. So we also try to, as much as possible, to sensitize our members with regards to goings on in the industry, that government policy statements and actions. We try as much as possible to bring our members on board, and if there are any challenges that they are facing, which they feel they also can intervene, we do that on their behalf. We should try as much as to key into all these government policies, and so that we'll be able to ensure that the mining is being done according to the best global practices. So we want them to avail themselves of the goings on in the industry. We want them also to avoid any illegality in the mining industry. And we want every one of us to come on board for Nigeria to move to the next level.
It is important to state here that the Miners Association of Nigeria is working in partnership with the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development to actualize the economic diversification goal of this administration through import substitution and value addition. Up next, highlights of global happenings in the mining world.
True to an official statement made last month, the International Tin Research Institute has now changed its name to the International Tin Association Limited. The change took effect from 1st February 2018. According to the statement, the change builds on the organization's heritage as former International Tin Research Institute, but also recognizes its evolution towards tin industry leadership with a more diverse range of activities. Stellar Resources, an Australian tin explorer and developer, has acquired the Mount Razorback exploration license in addition to its portfolio of Tasmanian tin properties. The package contains the historical Razorback and Grand Prize tin mines and a tailings dam. The Bolivian state-owned smelter, Empresa Metalúrgica Vintu, has revealed that refined tin production fell by 3.1% year-on-year to 12,637 tons in 2017. Although revenues increased by 11% to some $255 million according to local sources. Now a look at how the metals are performing. Gold remains on the top spot, peaking at $1,345 at 12 noon on the London Metal Exchange, while the spot price for silver was $17.135 per ounce. Tin continues its long stay on top of base metals on the LME, with spot price peaking at $21,940.
I hope it's been revealing, sharing with you the strides of the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development towards making Nigeria a hub of mining activities. See you next week on this journey towards shared mining prosperity. Enjoy the rest of the day.